everyone, and welcome to the Adelaide Cottage podcast. My name is Shauna, and you can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as Adelaide Cottage, and you can find our Facebook group called Adelaide Cottage Yarns and our website where we sell our hand-dyed yarns at www.AdelaideCottageYarns.com. Everything that I talk about today will be in the show notes beneath the video in the down bar, and all of the places where you can find me on social media as well. So thank you so much for coming back to spend some time with me. If you're new here, welcome. I hope you find something here that you enjoy. This is a podcast mostly about knitting. I just started spinning, and at the end of the episode I'll show you a shop update, some of the new yarns that we added to the shop. So it is March 21st, and we're getting glimpses of spring. They're minute, but they're there. Starting to hear the birds chirping. Able to go outside without a mask on my face because it's so cold. But yeah, I have some extra stuff that I'll talk about at the end of the video as well. But first I'm gonna get into knitting. So I've been having so much fun knitting, I can't even tell you. I have a finished object to show you. I have a work in progress. I have a little bit of spinning to show you and some yarn. The first thing I'll show you is my finished object. It is the pair of socks that I've been working on with the Desert Vista Dyeworks self-striping yarn called They Kill Maggie, which is a The Walking Dead colorway, and here they are. So they're all blocked and ready to go. Since they're finished, I'll give you a full rundown of the sock. I used a twisted German cast on, I believe, which is pretty stretchy. I really like it. 2x2 rib for 17 rows. I did a 40 row leg. I did the heel using the Drippity Drop Sock pattern by Kay Jones of the Bakery Bears. And then I knit the foot to about 7 inches before I started the toe decreases. And it's just a normal wedge toe, I guess. But I've been knitting on these probably a couple of weeks, and my mother-in-law saw me knitting them 2 or 3 times, and each time she complimented the yarn and the colors, and I was like, Mom, why don't you try one on? I had her try the one sock on that was already finished when I saw her on Sunday, and it fit her perfectly. I'm like, would you like these? And she's like, yes, I would love those. So these are going to be hers. They fit her foot perfectly. And there is some stellina in there, which is a nice extra touch, but I really like the way they came out. So that means I can cast on a new sock project. I think I'm going to use one of our new colorways, Adelaide Cottage yarns, which I'll show you in just a little bit. I love it, and I can't wait to see how it knits up. So that's that. The colors, I mentioned to you that I wanted to cast on a new shawl because I had finished my Aisling shawl, and I showed you yarn that I might be using, and I did cast that on, and that is a work in progress, but I'm not going to show it just yet because it's a design of mine, and I'm not sure where it's going yet. I love the way it looks right now, but I want to make sure that that's how it's going to stay before I show it, if that makes sense. But I did cast another shawl on that I will be able to show you as I work on it. So that is here in my Fringe Supply Co. bag. This pattern is by Kazapinka, which is a new to me designer. She's not new, but I just found out about her, and she has some really, really pretty patterns out there. So this shawl is called the Window Pane shawl, and Nope, it's called Painted Windows, sorry, by Casapinka. And this is what it looks like. So basically you use 2 skeins of yarn, one that is a semi-solid or even very slightly variegated in a light colorway, and then the little windows, which I call, this is my patchwork shawl. The patchwork and the edging is another skein of yarn. So I was debating whether I would use 2 full skeins of yarn for this project or use 1 full skein for that background color and then use some of my mini skeins for the patchwork, because I have so many minis and I really wanted it to be colorful. So what I chose for mine, and let me show you what it looks like so far. You're going to see ends that need to be woven in because that's just how the shawl works, but it's a boomerang shaped shawl, and this is what it looks like so far. I just cast this on today, so I only have a little bit done. But if you can see here, this is the first patchwork section, and this is the second, and then we'll go back into gray, and then you start a new one. So my background color is Mint by Mint Rain Yarns, and it is, let me see if I could find the, here it is. The colorway is called Protego Maxima. It's a Harry Potter colorway, and the Sparkle Sock, which is superwash merino nylon and stellina. So it is very slightly variegated with the gold. And so the contrast color that I picked is Hedgehog Fibres in the Fool's Gold colorway, because it's bright and cheerful, and I thought it would just be really pretty. So I know for sure that I want this to be the edging color, which is right here. But I wanted to try it out in a patchwork section just to see if it was noticeable or if it would blend in too much, and I do think that it blends in a little bit too much. So I picked out a bunch of mini skeins to do the patchwork. I'm going to leave that there because it's fine. You can still kind of see it. But I picked out a bunch of bright mini skeins. This one was from the Hue Loco Advent calendar. And then I have a pink one that I dyed up. And just some like bright colors. Quite a few of them are the Dandelion and Dogwood Advent. I dyed the green, orange, and purple, so just a mixture. I thought it would be fun to add mini skeins to use some of them up, because I'm lucky enough to have so many minis that I really want to use them. So this is a super fun pattern. I love knitting it. It's memorizable. You can make the patchwork sections as large or as small as you want to, just so you can use more yarn. So for instance, right now it calls for me to stop this patchwork section and then continue in the gray, but I might actually keep going a little bit so that I use more of this yarn. And on it I have my little Easter egg by the Gnome Knitter, Progress Keeper. Yeah. So I told you last time that I purchased an Ashford Blending Board, and it came with some fiber, so I just played around with it and I made these really fun, bright rolags. And I mixed in some peach colored rose fiber, and there's just like stellina. It's kind of hard to see. You can see the peach. But the first time I didn't really make them thick enough. So as you can see here, it's kind of coming apart. But as I practiced, this is the last one that I did, they came out thicker, and I'll actually be able to spin from them. So yeah, they're really pretty. And I have more of this fiber if I want to make more. So what have I been spinning on my wheel? I have been spinning a braid created by Elsie B. I've showed this before. This is the Atlantis colorway. It's 100% Targee. I'm spinning this across so that, having trouble focusing today. I think it's because we're losing daylight. I'm spinning across so that the colors match up a little bit better. And this is what I have on my bobbin so far. I struggled a little bit with this because I was so used to spinning the really bright purplish pink that I turned into a skein and showed you last time. And I bought this colorway because I love teal, I love this color, turquoise, love mint green, but I really struggled with this really dark navy that was on this end. It was just too dark for me. I couldn't wait until that part was all spun up. So finally I got through it and I ended up covering it with the jade, and now I'm into a mint, kind of a sea green. So I will either 2-ply or chain ply this when I'm done. So I have quite a bit to go. I haven't weighed it to see what's on here yet. But I'm enjoying that now that that navy blue is finished. I did receive a really sweet gift from Brenda, who is Cormo Spinner on Instagram. She saw on my podcast and Instagram feed that I'm spinning, so she offered, she also lives in New York, and she has Cormo sheep, and she offered to send me some of their wool, some of their Cormo wool. So this wool is from her sheep named Pippin, Tilly, and Pearl. And it's about 3.5 ounces. You guys, it is so soft. I kind of want to rest my head on it and fall asleep. I can't wait. I can't wait. I think I'm going to dye this. Not sure what color. Maybe I'll try to naturally dye it. We'll see, but this was really, really nice. So Brenda, if you're watching, thank you so much. I appreciate it very much. And then I signed up for the Paradise Fibres Fiber of the Month Club, and I plan on just doing it once in a while, not an every month thing. So they did include some really nice fibers. Now I lost the sheet. That's what happens, I guess. I'm pretty sure this is all merino, but I could be wrong. But I got a really bright pink, a bright yellow, and a bright blue. And this month's theme, they have a theme every month, is Down syndrome. And they also include, and those are the colors for it, they also included some pink stellina. Okay, so I went and grabbed the sheet. So it was all merino top. It included 6 ounces of merino in the pink, blue, and yellow. What I called stellina is Angelina in a raspberry color. And then they included some soak wash, some Hershey candies, which were already eaten, a really sweet pin for Down syndrome, which is not in the box because they celebrated Down Syndrome Day in school today, so my son took that to school. And they do have a 10% off coupon for new members on Fiber, so they give us the coupon code for that. So it was really nice. I enjoyed that surprise. And then I sent Marina from the Pineapple Yarns and the Pineapple Knits podcast. If you haven't checked it out, you should. It's really great. Some fiber and a few little goodies. and she sent me some fiber back, which was really sweet for my blending board. So there's some sari silk top, merino yak silk top, natural peduncle silk top, I don't know how to say that, and Coriadel wool top, going from top to bottom. So thank you, Marina. I already thanked you, but thank you very much again. I can't wait to play with these on the blending board. So that's it for spinning. Today I went to a class at our sewing center for applique, to learn how to do applique, and we just practiced. They already had the shapes cut out for us, and they just had us use they had us use the like the heat bond. What is that called? Not the actual name heat bond. What is the word I'm looking for? Who knows? It'll come to me while I'm editing this podcast, and I'll be like, Shauna, what were you thinking? To stick it to the main fabric, and then we learned how to applique all the way around. And it's pretty challenging to learn. I mean, she said I did a great job, and she was showing all the workers, or the employees there. They couldn't believe it was my first time doing applique, but I don't know if they were just doing that to flatter me. I don't really know. But it's a different technique for like doing corners and curves and circles and straight corners and straight lines, slight curves. So we just kind of put a bunch of different shapes on a piece of fabric and practiced. So this is going in the garbage. It was just to practice on, but it was a lot of fun. I went with one of my neighbors. So I will show you my shop update, but one thing I wanted to mention, I have quite a few viewers who really want to get into sock knitting and ask me for recommendations for books or videos. And there is a book that I recommend highly. It's called Getting Started Knitting Socks by Ann Budd. That's what I use to learn, plus YouTube tutorials. That's what I used to learn sock knitting. But Denise from the Earth Tones podcast is hosting a KAL, and I forgot the exact name of it, but it's, I think it's the No Fear KAL, where people who are fearful of knitting or learning to knit socks, or anything for that matter, are all coming together, putting their fears aside and knitting together. So that's a KAL going on in her Ravelry group, but you can check out her podcast, her latest podcast, which I will link below, to find out more about that. So if you're interested in learning how to knit socks and you're kind of afraid to get started, there are plenty of like-minded people there with you and who can support you all the way through. And I'm here to support you as well, but I thought it would be fun for to be a part of a knit along. So I'll link everything below. I sent a prize her way for that KAL. I sent a skein of yarn, so that will be up for grabs as a prize. I have some new colorways to show you. And then there's a giveaway to announce at the end of the episode and just some blabber. So the first one, I have some sock sets. So all the sock sets are available on full skeins, and most of them you have an option to choose your mini skein that coordinates with it. So there is Mint Rain, available on full skein and in sock sets. It's a pretty mint green with all different shades of green and turquoise speckles. So you can choose from either a green or a gray mini skein. This is Unraveled, which was in our 2017 Advent calendar. Very subtle neon speckles of pink, raspberry, orange, green, and that is in full skein as well. And if you're wanting a pairing idea, it will go good with Berry Fairy or Aurora Borealis, which was also in our advent calendar. So Aurora Borealis has shades of this like raspberry color, pink. You get some bright orange and some purple speckles. And there's also Mauveberry Mohair, Breezy Mohair, which would go good with almost all of the colorways that have a purple or a pink in them, or gray. The next is Day Glow. These are the sock sets. And I believe I have an option with a pink mini as well. This is a really pretty jade turquoise and speckles of blue and purple and yellow and pink. And this is it on full skein. And this would pair beautifully with So Jaded. And also Breeze, because there is the blue in there. The next sock set is one of my favorites, which I cannot wait to knit socks with. This is called Galaxy. And it's a cool gray, and it's speckled with neon pink, purple, orange, and this is it on full skein. Super bright and fun. And this would look awesome with Dracarys, which is a Game of Thrones reference, and Aurora Borealis. So that's it for the sock sets, but we also have Hogwarts. I had Hogwarts sock sets, but they sold out. This is just a really moody gray with lots of bright neon colors speckled on top. And it's available on multiple bases, but that would pair nicely with So Jaded as well. And we have You Know Nothing, Jon Snow restocked. Also Game of Thrones reference. That would look good with Breeze or Candied Kisses. And Spin the Bottle has been restocked as well, and that would look great with Candied Kisses. And then we have our two basic neutral colorways. This is Simplicity on Breezy Mohair. It's a really pretty taupe color, a light taupe, and this is called Light Roast, and this is what I knit the border of my Aisling shawl with. We have it on a Sparkle DK and also on fingering weight bases. So this would pair nicely with a lot of different colorways. So that's it for shop update. There's also more in the shop. Those are just some highlights. But I am going to the Mariah Carey concert on Saturday. If you've watched for a while, you might have heard me talk about how I was her biggest fan in the 90s. Pretty sure I was. I loved her love ballads. I loved her. I was just pretty much obsessed. And I always said I wanted to see her in concert before I died. Most recently, I'm not a huge fan of her music. I honestly don't know any of the words to any of her newer songs. I really miss her old stuff, but what are you gonna do? But one of my good friends, Melissa, surprised me with tickets for her and I to go to the concert Saturday here in Buffalo, and we are gonna be like 4 rows from the stage right in the center. I will be able to smell her perfume if she's wearing any. And I found out that she's going to be singing mostly her classics, so I'm going to be crying the entire time. It's going to be amazing. It's going to bring back so many memories. whenever somebody thought of me or saw me, they would mention Mariah Carey back in the 90s. It was just, I just loved her. I loved her music. So I'm so excited about that. And my knitting girlfriends and I booked our Airbnb to go to Rhinebeck this year again. So that's exciting. I'll be there. And that's really it. We're just enjoying the first signs of spring here, loving knitting. Oh, there is something else big I wanted to tell you. If you heard on my Instagram stories, we as in my husband and I, moved our dye studio into the basement, so I no longer have to dye yarn in the kitchen on the stovetop. It has been amazing. It's still kind of a work in progress, but he built a really big countertop so that I don't have to bend my head down a lot because I have problems with my neck to look at the yarn. So it comes up like pretty high. He put an exhaust fan in so that the fumes don't get to us and keeps the air clean. A purifier. He hung up lines to dry the yarn. And previously we used to have to hang the yarn on a little rack in my craft room, the room where I'm sitting now, and it would take up the whole entire room and I wouldn't have any room to walk around and make things. And I also have cats, and I always had to keep the door shut and locked because they would have a field day with hanging yarn. All of the packaging stuff is down there, where previously I would, we would dye in the kitchen. Packaging stuff was upstairs. It was just crazy. So everything's all together. We ordered new burners and pans, so we're going to have much more equipment to be able to dye more yarn and keep the shop stocked. So that's exciting. The last thing I wanted to mention is a giveaway prize. It's a shawl pattern that was generously donated by Jen Sheelin. It is her new pattern called High Tea with Jam Crumpets. But all you have to do to enter is comment below with what's your favorite kind of tea. And also talk to me about more things too if you want. But I will pick, answering that question in particular will enter you for the giveaway. Please don't say giveaway or free. And then next week I will draw a winner and she will send you the pattern via Ravelry. So yeah, I think that's it. That's all I have for this week. I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, feel free to subscribe, hit the notification bell, hit the thumbs up if you want. Join the Facebook group, doing a giveaway there very soon. And I think that's it. Until next time, be well. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.